Was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Baltimore Ravens and the Cleveland Browns. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. That'll be taken in there by Miles Boykin. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Taylor. Well, the pretty move couldn't create much space. Down just beyond the 35. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. For the Browns, good starting field position as they have it 1st and 10 at their own 42. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions quote-unquote go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Now Taylor. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
On 3rd down, Jackson. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Online, but off the crossbar, no good. A long-range effort denied 3 points at the very end. All things considered, a pretty good kick, just cruel punishment there to be denied by the crossbar.
If you're going to hit from that distance, sometimes you're going to need a little luck, and unfortunately for him, this time the break goes against him.
And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Here's a 2nd and 7. Yeah, he'll find Hall. The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd.
It's just me and you.
First carry for Nick Chubb. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. A third down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
Down. 10 Lobo.
First and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Get it.
They run again on first down. Chubb. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And all the way down to the 25-yard line. Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Marlon Humphrey with the tackle defensively.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
Got it. Hey, orbit.
Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field, defense.
2nd and 5. Letting one go deep for the end. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. From 21 yards away, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point right down the middle, and it's now a 7-0 game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Browns defense has a touchdown. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now 14-0. So they throw the pick six to now as this one's in the air. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Credit the sack to Malik Jefferson. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that, give him clean lanes to throw the football in order to have a better chance to win again this week.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Play action. It's Jackson rolling to his right. He's going deep for Brown. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. That makes him now 0 for 2 here in the first quarter on 3rd down conversions.
And now they'll look to their defense because they need them to step up so they don't fall further behind here in the early going.
It's a return of 5 following a punt of 42 yards. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And a 6-yard gain gets them right around the 43. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
Protein spill.
2nd and 4. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tavon Young. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. First quarter, and now he already has 2 interceptions.
Yeah, he's got to guard against being tentative from this point forward, though. He's got to still make the right reads, make the proper throws. I've seen guys in this league throw 4 interceptions in a game and win. He's got to understand.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Myles Garrett in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. Now a give, right side. It's Taylor. Only 3 yards on the pickup. They'll be left staring at a 3rd and 14. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
There's Jackson on 3rd and long. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
$14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. The Cleveland offense ready to go. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
You ain't got nothing. Hey, Zoo. 25 to Mike. We got 20.
Now this time he'll look to throw. And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a first down. Now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
Crunch. Crunch. Yo, go. Go. Hey, lock it. Snap.
They'll drop the throw. The attempt on the dive, and he has it. What a catch. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
I'd have to say that whenever you see a good post route run, they do not like to let it end without the catch. Hence, that great diving play.
Yeah, lay it up there, let him go get it, and he got it. On first down, Chubb going to get forward for only about a couple. 2nd and 8 forthcoming. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
And this is why aggressive defense coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
They go with Chubb on 2nd down. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Hey, Haywood.
They'll look to throw. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Anthony Averett picks it. The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. Justin Tucker for the extra point. The PAT good. It would draw him closer, but hold on just a second. A flag is down on the field. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Ready. 30 base. 58
right there. I know he ain't got it.
5.
After the pick six, they go right back to the air. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Well, I guess that answers the question whether or not they want him throwing it again right away after throwing the pick six on the previous drive.
Yeah, not something conservative or underneath. Pretty big shot right there.
Get him right back in the saddle and said, go ahead and sling it, big guy.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Throwing left side, it's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 36.
Hey, seam 6.
He'll drop to throw. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. And they move this all the way down to the 9. A very solid gain of 27.
It's so important to tackle well against these guys, but you and I both know that's easier said than done when the guy you're trying to tackle looks like this guy.
And it's usually going to take more than one man to get him down. And Njoku pulls this one in. He's got it for a Cleveland touchdown. David Njoku, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Extra point splits the uprights. And it's now 21-7. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken short. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10 at the 9-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. To throw is Jackson. Open receiver, that's Hayden Hurst, the tight end. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore first down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Now Jackson to the right side and complete to Hurst. A gain of 6 there on first. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and they're going to face a 3rd down. Throwing is Jackson. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And he'll score. Touchdown, Browns. Now the extra point try forthcoming. He knocks it through. It's 28-7. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This one taken from the 7. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
At their own 29-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Myles Garrett, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
On second down now, it's Taylor. Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. The 20. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. A big play there. 82 yards. And the Ravens cut into that lead.
Well, that touchdown certainly helps, but they've got to go ahead and convert, get to the half, and figure out how to keep chopping down this lead in a second, don't they?
Yeah, they still need to regroup, and they still need to end the second quarter strong. A little bit of time left. After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25.
On the set. Topper, topper.
That's got to be a nice
Shoot.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Going to throw right side here, complete. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection.
25 to Mike. We got 25 to Mike. Hey, watch the slant. Watch the slant.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Looking to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on third down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on second down.
I can't believe they even let you play.
And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. On 4th down, here's Jamie Gillen on to punt. And now on 4th and 1, it's a fake. And the gamble pays off. They get the first. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
They're running it. And 58 is the Mike. Go 58 is the Mike.
On play action, they'll throw. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13. Seconds to play in half number one.
Ready,
So
break.
second and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range.
Bravo.
Second and 14. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. As his guys are in for 6. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. And he takes it the distance. No time remaining.
No cloth on the field.
Yeah, no flags, and it's a kickoff return to end the first half. It's been a back-and-forth game, a lot of points on the board, and that return right there kind of indicative of how this thing's gone.
Yeah, you've seen both teams go at it, and as you just pointed out, both of them have found the end zone. But just like in boxing, you know the blow that hurts the most? The one you didn't see coming, and that often is the case when it comes in special teams.
This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Back to throw. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. They're going to look to throw.
To me, the defense was looking a little gassed near the end of the first half, but they've come out of the locker room with a little extra spring in their step. Wonder what they did at halftime to get them so motivated.
I don't know, but that sack looked good. Now let's see if they can build on the momentum of that play. Taylor now returning it. They'll call that a 61-yard punt. He got all of that one. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
36, 38.
They'll run with Taylor. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on third.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Agnew now to return. It'll go as a 42, make it a 43-yard punt. 6 on the return. And possession will switch hands, first and 10. The Cleveland offense ready to go. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game? Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Tyus Bowser It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him.
Like how they've started the third quarter here. They force a punt on the first drive, and after this sack, it looks like they'll be forcing another one as well.
Absolutely. Maybe got their second win coming out of the locker room.
5. Ready.
They'll set up a throw. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for third down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Myles Garrett make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. From the gun, it's Jackson. Eluding the pressure right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Browns have a short field in front of them now as they take over 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he's going to go down. Back near midfield at the 49.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. They'll set up to throw. And he gets it to his running back, Nick Chubb. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Oh, yeah. And here we go again. Here we go again. Hey, alert 3, alert 3.
49, check 49, check 49. Hey, Delta. Be careful.
They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. And this one is right down the middle. And that'll push the lead up to 17. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
57's Mike. Mike 57. Let's go, let's go.
From the gun, Jackson. And he's got his man on the out route. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out. Out of bounds.
A gain of 11 on the play. And the Ravens first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. And we're back now here in Cleveland. It's the Ravens with possession of the football, but trailing on the big board as we get set for the 4th. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make 2nd down pretty tough.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
56 is Mike. 56 is the Mike.
On 2nd and 15 now. Jackson nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And for Jackson, this may be a free play. He's going to float this one deep right side. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
And the penalty helps, but not a whole lot. It's still 3rd and long. Jackson from the shotgun. He's going deep for Brown. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. John Harbaugh not afraid to go for it this time. Doesn't work out. And the Browns are going to get this thing back. Excellent field position.
Watch the slant. Watch the slant.
They try and run on 1st down, but this one going to lose a couple yards as they get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
At the Ravens' 24-yard line.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Go.
Be ready. Be ready. Hey, 25's the mic. We're going 25's the mic. Let's go.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. His throw caught at about the 5. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. He has a 1st down, and that catch will also put him over 100 yards receiving now on the afternoon. They'll run with Chubb. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. But down here near the goal line, you don't think of a cornerback in run coverage, but he made the stop.
Yeah, most of the cornerbacks we know, they want to be those pass defenders and take away one half of the field. But the best ones in the game are the complete cornerbacks, able to tackle and run support, as we just saw there.
Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd down. He'll look to throw. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Noah Fant. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. No surprise. And he takes off with it. It's a fake. And the fake attempt here not going to work. Got a little yardage, but not enough to get to the goal line. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4th, turned it over in their own. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Browns defense has a touchdown. Oh, this is becoming tough to watch. I don't know that I've seen 3 pick-sixes from the same quarterback in the same game.
And I know that many are going to scream at the coach about why did you let him stay out there to throw those. But truthfully, what are the odds that you're going to throw 3 pick-sixes in a game? You want to leave them out there so they can work through some of the rough stuff. In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Here's Jackson to throw. He's going deep for Brown. He's got a man complete. But he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Marquise Brown, 95 yards. And the Ravens get a bit closer. And his kick is good, but flags come in. Looks like we're going to get a roughing call here on the follow-through. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
Tackle made by Zaire Franklin. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now back to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
Yeah, I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. The Browns on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 8. Back to throw here. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 40.
First and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. 4 yards on the dump-off at second down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
36-yard line.
Back to the ground. This time it's Chubb. And some room to work. And they move this all the way down to the 9. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards. Starting to look like this drive, it may be the final nail in the coffin.
Well, this is why you work out so hard, right? This is why you spend all that time in the offseason. This is why you have those OTAs and minicamps. For these situations, these scenarios, to run someone into the ground and secure a victory.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. Another shot from the 9 on second and goal. That one looks like he'll throw here. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. Tyus Bowser able to record his 5th sack of the season. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on third and goal?
Leo! Hey, Haywood!
They'll drop to throw. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. A 16-yard touchdown as his guys continue to pour it on. Point after, right down the middle. And that will extend this big lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one taken from the 7. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. A big offensive